This is the end, beautiful friend.
Okay, we're back. And we're going to look at some more of your... These are kind of... is this a digital print of...
Yeah, it's an inkjet, but I painted it.
And you painted it in?
It's the East River side, which is not looking anymore like that. It's also a documentation about the time it was a year ago, 2 years ago. It's now the big building. It's a park now.
And here, are these some of your sculpture things you're working on, or?
No, this is not for me.
That's not
you.
you.
Know who that is?
Who is that?
That's
Peter Kane?
Yeah, Peter Kane. We did an exchange.
Peter Kane. Oh, that is so cute. Baby Hitler. Okay. Peter Kane.
We did an exchange.
He's quite a guy. Now we're going to look at some of the drawings that Wolfgang's been working on. Now, I know that a lot of the work you've been doing recently, you're sort of mixing in photographic things you photoshopped, and also with some of this,
collages.
right, very detailed pen and ink. And you just, like you said, you start scratching away and keep building these up sort of organically. You've got a lot of sheets.
Layers by layers. It's part freehand, parts projection, and there's always different ink and different covered ink and just very transparent ink and stuff like that.
Now, you were also talking about a show that you're going to be having here at the Orensanz?
Yes, the Orensanz
Center
in Norfolk Street.
On Norfolk Street.
I would say it's a real exhibition. It's a kind of event.
An event, that's right.
It's a kind of evening. You presenting our kind of show and make it really like.
This is the huge old synagogue down there.
It's a huge synagogue. He said to me it's the biggest in the United States. And the funny thing is there was a relation to Berlin in the 19th century because a huge community in Berlin were really giving a lot of support. That means financial support too. They could build also by some architect from Berlin. So
and that's happening, you said, Easter Monday.
Easter Monday next year. And we want to do, 3 people are doing it. I take the main space for the fighting stuff, which I did a huge exhibition with.
Right.
And but I want to also work with projection and with light and kind of reading. We'll see. I'm just thinking about it. Just really
Still in progress.
yeah.
I think you're going to have to develop the performance part just like you build the drawings with
That's right.
collecting pieces and
So that's
things
good to
together.
have some time to do all that kind of interaction and to advertising and well, I'm thinking about reading and not myself, just someone and maybe music. I will see.
Poetry?
Yeah, but not too academic.
Okay.
It's more like a rap maybe. Or maybe. Because you know, it's a space. They do a lot of fashion. They do a lot of stuff. The PS1 is working with them. So the space is amazing, and you have to use it. It's not just a gallery space. It's not a white cube. It's just the opposite. So it gives a lot of kind of power somehow. It's spiritual, but it's also very rough. It's very big. It's still kind of church, if you like to say that. But it creates a lot of energy, and you have to take that energy.
Very interesting space. We looked at it last week. Would you like to talk a little bit about your series with the fire engines? I know that you were here during 9/11, and
yeah, well, I was here when the 9/11 thing happens. I could see it.
You could watch it out your window, right?
I did that little movie, and there was photos, and of course I didn't know that suddenly these huge towers were disappeared. So I saw the smoke, all these kind of things. To be honest, the first time when I watched or looked through out of the window and saw the smoke coming out, I thought, well, I'm European. I thought, well, these crazy American, but it was like that. Then I saw all these people on the roofs, and I heard all these firefighting stuff, you know, the noises, and I saw the TV was just almost collapsed. So I went to the roof and tried to, well, to take part somehow. I mean, like.
Right, I was on my own roof watching with binoculars when the first tower went down.
And I have to say, I did this movie and I was like, well, I couldn't believe that suddenly this tower collapsed and the other one collapsed. And I think a day between, it was like I couldn't do anything, but the third day I was really like out of focus. Had a really culture shock with myself, like thinking about roots, where you're coming from, what are you, you're a Christian, and so there was a lot of question to myself about this whole thing. I started to paint kind of thorny, very thorn-like, very reddish paintings, like roses, but
like large roses with the thorns. I remember those.
But then was very heavy when Bin Laden said they will earn the thorns. It was kind of, you know.
And then from that, you sort of started working on the fire engine series, which you've been working on for about 4 or 5 years now.
Figures in, because a lot of these engines were without figures, but now the figures are coming back, but different, and I developed during that firefighting stuff a process about anamorphosis. That means I was using an old principle from Leonardo da Vinci that you turn something
using a cylindrical mirror. Is that it?
Yeah, something like that, and the reality is deformed somehow. But you have to put special anamorphose. I was working with these kind of mirror columns.
Right, a mirror column, and then you look in the mirror column and you can see the image more correctly.
Back to real.
Right.
So, but I'm using now this more as a possibility to have different layers of reality. So I'm open it up and I deform it and I bring it back, and so you see like here this landscape.
And these are works that you're preparing for an exhibition at Sarah Asperger in Berlin? Now, you use a projector for some of this, right?
Yes.
And this is
Projector and free worked over, and it's
free
kind
work.
of digital prints worked over.
And you've got graphite, pen and ink,
Collage.
digital print, collage.
Just, and then the classical things. Just
These are straight
pencil,
drawings.
yeah. No print, everything handmade.
So on some of these smaller drawings, how much time does it take to finish one of these off?
Well, that's the same time like a big one, in a way.
Weeks, months?
Yeah, well, it's difficult to say because I have a lot of...
As long as it takes to get them finished.
I have 30 pieces now in work, so just jumping around here.
Okay. Well, it looks like you've been busy.
On normal paper, you know. It's not a very special prepared paper.
Oh, but it's a nice paper. And you said this is cotton, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Thanks for our little imposition here in our interview.
Thing. I wasn't expecting
Well, that's
that.
that's
we're just having a coffee and just talking.
That's what the Kalm report does, is it catches artists and puts them on the spot.
Yeah,
So thank you, Wolfgang Petrick.
Okay, thank you too.
Okay. And thanks, Kate.
This is the end. Beautiful